Hi Otto, here is the last 10 minutes of the phrasal verb videos for this week. So we're on to lesson feedback 24. First word is fizzy. Fizzy is very often used for drinks, yeah, fizzy drinks. It just means carbonated drinks, drinks with that which have been carbonated, which have carbon dioxide inside. But you can talk about fizzy sweets as well, and fizzy sweets have that tangy, fizzy flavour. Sherbet is the fizzy part in the sweet, and I think I've spelt it wrong on your feedback. It should be S-H-E-R-B-E-R-T. So sherbet is fizzy, and I like sweets with sherbet in them. Okay, the next word is tabby cat. Usually there's a tabby cat sitting somewhere in here. He was here earlier in the first part. So that's a tabby cat. It's a cat which looks like a wild cat, and I think that they're the closest relatives of the wild cat. There's probably no difference between them. They can probably mate, reproduce, and so it's the same species. The next one is jackhammer. This is a tool. If you type jackhammer into Google, that would be the easiest way to get what this is. But it's a pneumatic drill. It's one of those drills that you use for breaking up concrete. My one was called a Kango, and it goes, you know, the bottom piece of metal, like a metal stake, just is very, very strong, and it breaks through that concrete by using a pneumatic action. It just goes up and down and goes, drills through concrete. So very useful if you want to drill through concrete. Chuck it down. Okay, it's been chucking it down today here in England. It's been pouring all day. So it's been pelting down, yeah? The rain has been pelting down all day, or the rain has been beating down on my roof all day. And so, yeah, chuck it down. It's a good expression for heavy rain, and it's been chucking it down all day. Okay, the next one, to knock down the price, to reduce the price. And if you say, I knocked him down on the price by, that means that you managed to persuade him to knock the price down. So you can knock down the price, but you can also have the price knocked down by a certain amount. So that's what we've got next. I knocked him down by £30. Yeah, I knocked him down on the price by £30. But you can also knock a man down if you're in your car and you run him over. You knock him over or you knock him down. And which one I would choose depends on how he falls. If he rolls over, I would say knock over. If he falls down on the floor, I might say he was knocked down by a car. But I could say either, really, but there is slight difference. Fall over is like that. Fall down is like that. So there is a slight difference between knock over and knock down, fall over and fall down. Okay, let's go on to the next one. To shout someone down. If you shout someone down, you shout so much that that person is unable to speak. Their voice is drowned out by your shouts, by your yelps. And there's another good phrasal verb, to drown someone out. When you shout someone down, you drown out their voice with your screams or your shouts. And so to drown a noise out means to, it literally means to suffocate the noise with your noise. But you can see why we use drown out, yeah? You drown the noise out with your own noises. So you make that noise get lost in the louder noise. Shout someone down, it means keep shouting at them so that you drown out their voice. If you pin someone down, or something down, but if you pin someone down physically, this means hold them down on the floor. And usually you pin someone down by their shoulders, yeah, so that they can't get up, their shoulders are pinned down. But it's not just security guards and police who pin people down, because we can use this metaphorically. And when it's used metaphorically, it means when you pin someone down, you find out their exact position on some particular policy or issue. You pin them down on some particular policy. So it's the journalist's responsibility to pin politicians down, to find out exactly their opinion, their exact stance on a particular policy. And politicians always try and gloss over the details, and so they're very hard to pin down because they try and avoid the details, yeah, they gloss over the details, but it's necessary to pin them down on different topics, and that's the journalist's job. So to pin someone down can mean physically, but it can also mean to get a good understanding, a good grasp of their opinion about something. That would be to pin someone down as well. We use pin in chess. If I have the opponent's piece pinned to the king, it means that piece can't move, because as soon as that piece moves, he's in check. So you can pin a piece like that, and I think that that's similar to pin someone down, metaphorically and physically. Okay, cars and computers break down. And cars especially, you would never say my car broke on the motorway. You would always say my car broke down on the motorway. So that's something to be aware of. But even computers, we can say my computer broke down, and we also say I shut my computer down, and I suppose that's where it comes from. But you can close down shops, factories, companies. You can shut down a shop or a factory or a company, meaning close it forever. Okay, if a shop closes down, it closes forever. It's run out of money, it hasn't been profitable, it hasn't cashed in on the market opportunities, it hasn't managed to reel in the customers, they aren't rolling in it, and so the shop has to close down. Or the factory, or the company, it has to close down. So hopefully Mr. Skype Lessons will never be closing down his business. I suppose I could say I'm closing down the business for the holidays, but no, and even then, close down sounds too final to me, and I would just say I'm closing the business, I'm having a break, for a short break for the holidays. So I wouldn't normally say closing down. Closing down does sound final to me, it sounds permanent. Same with shut down. But of course, when you shut down your computer, it's not permanent. You want to just turn it off and then turn it on a bit later. Okay, let's come on. Yeah, close and shut just have the normal meaning. Break, you know that word. If you bring or get someone down, you depress them. You make them sad. You make them get in a sad, depressed mood. So bad weather can bring you down. Work can bring you down. Your boss can bring you down. Unpleasant jokes might get you down. If somebody's laughing at you, making fun of you, and it's unpleasant, you're quite sensitive, it might get you down. If you put someone down, you insult them. Meaning number one, you say you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid. They're insults, and you're putting that person down. But we also use this, put someone down for. What can I put you down for? What can I put you down for? Let's say you're ordering in a restaurant and you might say, Mark, what can I put you down for? Sally, what can I put you down for? If one person wants to do all the speaking with the waiter. Let's say you're in a foreign country, maybe you've gone to America and none of your brothers or your friends speak English. You might need to say, what can I put you down for? What can I put you down for? Because you're going to talk to the waiter and reel off all the different things that people want, all the different meals that people want, and so you need to put everyone down for a different thing on your list. Okay, to freshen up, it means to get in a more fresh state. So it usually means to wash your face, wash your hands, and it's not always have a shower, but it could be. You could freshen up by having a shower, in which case you completely clean yourself. But it can also have a second meaning, to freshen up. So coffee freshens me up in the mornings, and it means refreshes me, invigorates me. That one's not as common as wash. Often freshen up just means wash, and it means, you know, get clean so that you feel a little bit more fresh. Okay, the next one is to come down, to pass down, to hand down. Here this means to come down through the generations, or to be passed down through the generations, or to hand something down to your son, who will hand it down to his son, who will hand it down to his son. So I think that most of the knowledge that we have, especially in science, has come down to us from the Greeks. I have an immense amount of respect for the Greeks and the Romans, in particular the Stoics. I really appreciate the Stoics. I think the Stoic philosophers are very interesting guys, but also the pre-Socratic philosophers. I think that these particular philosophers passed down an immense amount of knowledge, and I don't mean empirical knowledge, I mean something more foundational than that. I actually mean theoretical knowledge, but knowledge of how things must be. I mean atomic theory, and I also mean the idea that the universe is eternal. I think we got this idea from the Greeks. I know that nobody believes it anymore, but I still believe it. And so I think a lot of scientific knowledge came down to us thanks to the Greeks discussing what might be true about the world around them. I think they had amazing scientific knowledge, and I think when I read someone like Epicurus, you can see that they certainly knew how thunderstorms worked back in those days. They understood that they were electric, and that the electricity came from friction, from electrostatic friction of the particles in the thundercloud. Amazing that they were able to come to such conclusions so many thousands of years ago. Anyway, we'll stop here for today. So we're on lesson feedback 24. I've just done come down, pass down and hand down through the generations, and I will start the next one with get off on or get your rocks off. Nice one to start off, yeah, to get off on. This was definitely in Mindhunter. He said one of the guys, one of the serial killers, gets off on ladies' shoes. Yeah, so to get off on something means to have a sexual tendency. You might be prone to some kind of sexual fetish, and that means you get off on the fetish. Anyway, let's stop there. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, and see you soon.